At the Conquer Paralysis event that I went to earlier this year, I sat at a table with some people from this company called EchoTech. They told me they were working on a wheelchair that uses AI somehow, which is artificial intelligence, to help you drive the wheelchair. They reached out to me a little while back and asked if I'd be interested in trying out the AI feature. That's what we're going to do right now. Well, I made it here and now I'm waiting on them to get here. It's supposed to be driving a red van, I believe. Like I said, I'm not sure how this artificial intelligence controls the wheelchair, but they asked me where my most difficult areas to drive my wheelchair was, and I said it crowded areas or tight areas such as restaurants. Mainly just because of the chairs. There's not much room, so I always hate having to have people get up from their chair or whatever just so I can get through. So we decided to meet at the mall and give it a try. Apparently I was waiting on them and they were waiting on me, and we were on opposite sides of the building. So I'm making my way over there now.
You game for hopping in? We could probably load your chair back up in our van if
that's what I was thinking.
Amenable. So let's head that way. We are EchoTech, and we have a product called Magic Mode. It is an add-on device for electric wheelchairs, power wheelchairs. Right now it consists of this top boom. There's a wide-angle camera up here, and we have some side cameras. And mainly it's sort of a way to get around and navigate objects a lot easier than manually driving the whole time. So it will try and make its way forward. It'll go around obstacles and people and stop for things, and if you want to make a turn, you can still tell it where you want to go. So you're still kind of the captain of the ship, and you can say, like, I want to take the next left, and instead of actually driving and doing all of the minutia of whatever that is, it will just sort of be primed, and the system itself will look for a left, and then it will take the left. And we got a lot of different ways you can control it. Different joysticks, buttons. There's ways where you can just use blinkers. We have voice control. We have gesture control where you can kind of just point where you want to go. And in the future we'll also be integrated in with specialty input devices, head arrays, zip puff stuff, and all of that. So yeah, enjoy. Okay. Yeah, let's start over the target here. We have a speech voice thing over there, so
I wondered if that was like
a lot of this is not like finalized, so we will have a smaller speaker and microphone. It'll probably be built into either the boom back here or the headrest, so that's just sort of a stand-in for right now. Okay, now let's just go into like one of these aisles so we can have some privacy while we discuss these systems. It's kind of like Mario Kart right now.
Yeah, look out for the bananas.
To start with, I have a wireless controller here, and we have a wired controller here. Right now, this doesn't do anything. However, you push the big red button,
eject mode,
and it will, or maybe we'll adjust the volume depending on how loud it shouts at you.
Control transferred to wired.
So now, you see you got a little indicator light. It says control transferred to wired. This is the wired controller. And so when the red light is on, this joystick is just like a normal joystick.
Okay.
There's nothing special going on. You're fully in control. We will have versions that have like emergency stop and all that kind of stuff, but for right now, it's totally manual. When you enable the system with the green button, and I can push it now because you'll start moving, the joystick will no longer directly control the wheels. You can use the joystick left and right, and you'll see that it will turn on the blinker here. It actually will say left. It'll also activate the lights on the chair. What that's going to do is tell the system, so it's going to be going along, it'll go around things as it needs to, and say you wanted to go down this aisle here. A little bit beforehand, you would either push the stick to the side, and then there's also ways that you can have, sort of like putting on a blinker in the car. It stays on, I think right now we have it set for like 7 seconds. So you would put it on like a little bit beforehand, and you don't have to hold anything. Probably at the very beginning, we should just go and stop. We should just practice the very basics. So if you hit the green button right now, it will say that it's turned on. The green light will come on, and you'll be going. At any point, if you want to stop, you can hit the big red button again. You're back into manual mode. And then another way to stop is if you pull the stick back and release. Also, I'll be watching, and I can take over control.
Control transferred to Bluetooth.
At any time, and now I'm in control. To turn it back on, hit the big red button.
Okay.
And then you can probably go ahead and hit the big green button.
And it would start moving,
It's going to
right?
start going, yep.
Magic mode activated.
Whoa.
So here it goes. And if you don't, do anything, it'll just kind of try and go straight, assuming there is something to go straight. It should go around, things in the path.
Right.
And then just to show you, so if I push this stick over to the left here,
So the blinkers are on and it goes to the left.
I don't know if we're going to be able to fit through here.
Yeah, it's too tight.
Yeah. You can also hit, I'll watch and see, but... Oh, yeah, I think you got it. Yeah, it's got it. So you notice you don't have to actually tell you which way to go. It kind of figures out what it needs to. Once
Wow.
you're around it, it gets back into like sort of a normal position. We'll see what it does over with this guy. I'll move this a little bit. Actually, if I stand here, it'll probably
Okay.
it'll go around this
because
way, most
it
likely.
knows that now there are two obstacles there.
There you go. It goes
This
around,
is
goes back
awesome.
this way. And just so that you're one of the things is we're working on making this more accessible. This is sort of what we have right now. A lot of people say the buttons are too small, so to stop it, it's either just like that, or
Magic mode activated.
you can pull the stick back and release. The reason you have to release is otherwise, if it just switched to manual, you would start going backwards all the way. So a quick pull back and release.
Okay.
There's also a couple other ways, but we'll get to that afterwards. So this blue button is sort of like the turn signal.
So if you turn on that turn signal, does that act kind of like moving this to the right, or?
It's exactly the same as if you held that over to the right. If you turn one on
Right.
and you want to turn it off, you hit the
Cancelling right.
and here it says canceling, right? So the same way that you kind of
Okay.
cancel turn signals. So these guys, you have your left blinker. You could wait 7 seconds for it to turn off, or you can
Cancelling left.
cancel it.
Right.
Right blinker, cancel
Cancelling
it.
right.
And that's exactly the same as just holding this down. The reason we have both is for if say there's like a whole bunch of quick turns that you want to make, you might want just to be able to go left, go right. And then if it's, just like a hallway with a couple of doors, you can just press and not have to, hold anything down. See if you can make a choice
By doing
here.
this?
Yep. Just hold it there. Oh, and then maybe go to the opposite direction.
Okay.
And usually you only need to hold it until like you start aiming at it.
Okay, got it.
And you can sort of change your mind, but at a certain point, just like a normal driver, it'll be like, we've gone past the point of no return, and
Got
it'll
it, yeah.
kind of ignore you. And you can see here, you didn't tell it what to do, but it still didn't crash into the wall. It just sort of makes an appropriate choice. If you want to go down one of these ones, you just push it a little bit ahead of time.
Now
And
let
then
go.
right about there, you can let go. But I mean, you can hold it, and like, so if you do it now, there's no turn, so it's just gonna wait until
A turn comes.
there is. I would give it a left here, maybe.
Okay.
And you also notice it kind of slows down appropriately to, because it doesn't know cross traffic and all that kind of stuff. Try it, feeling out, go wherever you'd like to
Okay.
go.
Which button do I press to go right?
The blue one.
Right
So
here?
it's the yellow is the left, the blue one is the... So you can click it now because it'll hold on to itself for a while.
Right.
Okay.
And if it's still going on, it might even carry you on into a gate that turned off beforehand.
I got it.
Yeah. And don't worry, I've got your Overwatch here, so I know you haven't used it around people. And that guy walked by you, but he didn't get in front of you. Getting it so that you can actually be right here and
Right.
not slam on the brakes, but when someone, does come in front, it does
Wow.
stop. So like there's a very small difference between here and here.
Are there sensors down there, or is it just this, or
there's
what?
2 cameras, one here and one on the other side.
Okay, got it.
You can see how far you can go here, and if you hold it, you'll probably even.
Okay.
Yep. Now we're in real uncharted territory.
Yeah.
So you can push right here if you want to go this way.
Okay.
Goes around.
Wow.
This is gonna
So it will automatically go there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should.
okay.
Pushing your clearance here. Good. Good.
Oh,
And
wow.
it should also understand when it's too narrow to go through, and like if it's really close, it'll go through really, really slowly.
Yeah.
The next generation one has, we have much better cameras on the side and the top, so that one will do even better. But this one actually, even with the what we have right now, it does pretty darn well.
Yeah, it is.
So here I would guess it's probably gonna go right. And it, like, say you were reclined a little bit, it understands based on how it looks that it needs to like take turns, you know, wider. Right now we can't see the casters, but the same way you can't see the casters,
Right.
it sort of knows that they're there, it understands that they're there.
So if you come up on something and you can go left and or right, like it's the same almost. Like, does it have a preference on going right here versus
Interesting
there?
that
Or-
usually it would just pick one. It's usually whatever, if you don't give it any input,
Yeah.
it'll be whatever it just happens to slightly be. Or if, say, one is nice
Yeah.
and wide and bright and safe looking, it might try and go for that one.
Okay. I don't think. Yeah,
It's because
that's too
these-
close.
It doesn't want to hit its casters when it makes the turn. So
Okay,
you
let's
probably
try
do
this.
one. Yeah, it looks to be close. Close.
Wow.
And I did it.
Okay.
Switching to manual mode.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that worked. Yeah.
It should stop for them, but yes, it's always good to practice stopping.
If I start, it'll automatically go straight, right?
Yep. Yeah, it always sort of assumes, it's kind of like a latch drive, it assumes if there is something that looks reasonable and safe and stuff, it'll try and go straight.
So if they would have been like, if something would be right here and I go to turn it on, would it back up?
Well, no, this
Okay, I
system
didn't
right
think
now
so.
doesn't back up. The version 2 that we're working on right now will have the capability to reverse and go around things.
Magic mode activated.
I'm gonna try going left.
There we go. Here, I'm just shopping or something. You know, I'm not paying attention. I'm just here. One, it is careful because it's tight here and it goes around me. This button here, if you hold it down, it just sort of slows the system down. Sometimes, say you're going through like a doorway and you just want it and you don't feel totally comfortable. Usually, it's pretty good at picking the right trajectory, but down just so that you feel more comfortable. And also, sometimes when you lean forward like that, it's fine. But a lot of times we've kind of trained it so that if someone like were to slump forward or something, it tends to stop because it seems like it might be a good idea. You can take over control and see if you can get through this minefield.
I can control it with this. I don't have to use that, right?
Yeah, you can control it with that joystick to drive manually. The more you use it, the more you understand what
Yeah.
it would do in a situation.
If you're not needing this one right
Yeah, and also in our second generation, we're working a lot more on the social aspect of it. So giving that guy a little bit more room. We're done working on this version of it, and we're already working on the second version. There we go.
Magic mode activated.
And you might have to hit it twice because the first one might have just canceled the. Yeah. It's because the blinker stayed on until then.
If I hit it again, would it stop?
Yeah, if you hit the opposite one, it cancels it.
Okay, got it.
It's just. I know, but you need like two. Yeah. So. And we have one of those.
And so if you hit the yellow one, it'll cancel. There you go. That's all. This may or may not be, you know, your preferred method of using it, but now when you turn it on, in addition to everything working the same, you can also basically point across your body to go left, and that will turn on the blinker, and it will say, you know, left, right.
Wow.
So you can just sort of point, and generally it's just like sort of anywhere. The idea is to use your opposite hand and go like across your,
Like this?
like something like that, yeah.
Or like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you can give that a try. I'll put you here, and it'll turn on the blinker, so it'll stay on for a bit. So you can just, yeah, and you don't have to hold it.
Okay.
It's like you tapping the blinker. You can cancel by doing the same way. Cancel by
So
doing the
if I do
opposite
that.
one, and then if you want to cancel it.
Do that.
Cancelling left.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
got it.
And you could also use the buttons the same way you used them before.
Wow.
So you-
Wow.
And so here, if you don't do anything, I would think that it would just sort of continue going straight through here.
Yeah.
Probably weave its way through. There is also one more way to do it. So you can say magic mode to turn it on. You can say stop to turn it off. And if you need to stop quickly, I would suggest doing the normal methods because it will take like a second and then stop.
Okay,
We
yeah.
will make it faster in the production version. And then you could say left and it will turn on the blinker. You can say right. And then you can say, you know, the opposite way to cancel the blinker the same way that all of the other stuff works.
Voice enabled.
So now both the gesture and the voice are enabled. So you can use your arms, or you can try saying this guy here.
I assume the microphone's here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Magic mode.
Magic mode activated.
Wow.
Left.
There we go. Usually test it in a very quiet office building. Like if you're at home, it's pretty good at hearing you.
Right.
It takes a second. It will be a lot better once we get it so that it
Yeah.
is more instantaneous.
And also, if you have a separate microphone.
Oh
or-
yeah, if you had like the microphone.
So right
here.
now, this speaker itself is acting as a microphone, so it's not really good.
Right.
You said right. Oh, were you trying to go right, or were you just saying right to him?
Yeah, I was just saying right. Yeah.
It's off. Yeah, now you're back to normal.
Right. Left.
That was close.
Left.
And once it says left, you can put your arm down.
Right.
Wow, this is pretty fun. Whoa. What if something's on the floor like that?
That it should not. Anything that's small enough for it to go over, it should ignore. But that's also more of the focus of our next generation one. We're gonna train it so that it knows, you know, how big something can be for it to. Sorry.
Wasn't me, lady.
It's like getting pulled over in a Tesla until you get to like sort of the point of no return. So like there, you can stop holding it. As soon as you let go, it's back into straight mode, and it might think that it somehow got itself, you know, cockeyed and picked the road that looks wider.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I gotta let off of it.
Left. Right.
That's my favorite.
Right.
I guess right here I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to,
do that.
but it doesn't, you know, you can if you'd like.
Left.
And then we're canceled to go the opposite direction.
Right.
it's a side. Yeah. It's okay.
There's an interesting interaction.
So, do I need to do anything?
Yeah, you shouldn't. But I mean,
shouldn't,
if you feel uncomfortable, you can always take over. If you pull back and let go,
Yeah, that's like
it's
stopping.
another way of stopping. the
Stopping,
system.
and then it's in your control.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Pull back,
Switching to
Yeah.
manual mode.
and now it's you can drive it normally.
So, would I need to do anything here? Or
You can see what it does. I got you back here.
I guess we'll see what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it says magic mode on here. But
You gave it a left with your So
Cancelling left.
okay.
yeah, so this is a profile. So if you were to swap profiles, you
Okay,
could go
got
back
it.
to your normal and use everything just the same. Shakes it.
It's good. Good.
Ride.
We might want to cancel it.
Right.
Did not make a. Oh, weird. There's something. Oh, I think it's just because you're.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting. You'll need to make that a little bit less stringent when it's right on top of your waist.
What about stairs?
So this one.
Don't test it.
Yeah, let's not test it, but it will detect it with vision and not let you go over it. Or even if you're like telling it, hey, I want to go to the left.
The left and right are stairs. The
I got
center should be.
See if you can use that sort of like quasi steer. When you're out in the open, generally it kind of almost can use it as a way to steer.
Okay. So what about like inclines like this, like adjusting like your tilt, like to keep it balanced? Have you ever thought of that?
No, I didn't even know that was really a thing. Actually, is that something that you do for a tilt? Like change? You're talking about like move, like tilting the chair back to compensate?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't thought of that
I just
actually.
now thought of that, but yeah.
I had never considered that at all, actually.
You mean like tilting the chair back?
Yeah, like
As
on
a whole?
on
Yeah.
a decline, if you're going downhill to
So you're like,
tilt the chair back to
yeah.
keep it flat, you know?
Okay,
To where
yeah.
it's not parallel with the ground, it's more or less just
level, like a level would be.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might be able to do something like that.
like a steep ramp like this. If I back up, I'll tilt it back like this, you know, to where
So
I
that
keep
you're
it
not-
flat.
Okay, so-
or else
okay.
I just lean forward. Yeah.
So there's a couple other ones there. So say it stopped, but for some reason, either maybe it's like there's something in the air that it doesn't
Yeah.
like, or there's something here, but you just want to get closer to it, and you for some reason don't want to go into manual mode. While it's in magic mode, if you push forward on the stick, you'll kind of creep forward. So if it ever did like stop, where like say right here, you want it to go, you push forward on the stick a little bit, and then you'll eventually like feel like it got you, whatever.
And what was the button that you said like
Slows it down. The small one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Switching to manual mode.
Did you mean to do that?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Did I press?
I think you
it?
might have told. We can also make the amount that you have to pull back more than what we have it.
Okay.
So
Magic mode activated.
I don't know if it'll stop for just boxes of shoes. So it chose to go random, so I guess it's all of them.
You can take over.
We're testing out a new sort of add-on called Magic Mode. It's kind of like a bit of an autopilot, but you can still tell like you can use gestures, or you can use voice, or you can use buttons to just say like, I want to go left, I want to go right, without actually doing all of them.
Do all the little, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about the controller. You're a pretty big hit. Especially with like kids, like we go to like the children's museum. This one doesn't have an HDR camera on top, so sometimes on bright days it gets washed out. The next generation one has really good HDR, so even like if you had like the brightest spotlight above, it's still not going to overexpose the image. But yeah, we can try it out.
So is there a speed limit set? I assume?
Yeah, so right now this one, it tops out at like 1.6 miles an hour. The next generation one, we're going to train it at a faster speed.
What about vehicles?
So like what about them? Like getting into them,
Well, like,
or
no,
avoiding
just-
them, or?
Just like a walkway, and like if you have a vehicle coming out to your right or left, I didn't know.
We don't have too much experience with that quite yet. I would say that's going to be something we're going to focus on for the next one. Vehicles that are parked, it'll definitely, just sees them as obstacles and goes around them. Also, the next generation one will have a much better understanding of how things move, and so it will be able to handle traffic and someone running bikes a lot better than the current one does.
I can't remember. What did you say about the stairs when I asked that?
So it should avoid the stairs right now. Also on the next generation one, we have some wings back here. There's some lidars that go. I have to give it a left to stay on the sidewalk.
Well, I just didn't know. I assumed this curb was kind of like it would act as a stair, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it should avoid the stair, but we will have like secondary. Too close. Also, the fact that bright out today is it's not. This one is not quite rated for outdoor use. It sort of works outdoors. We'll have sensors that sort of point out towards this way, and it will be able to like feel the curve basically. And it wouldn't allow you to get this close. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just drive manually here. It's not really rated for outdoor next to a curb right now. If you come back and text the next generation one, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how much better, especially for bright stuff, moving stuff. So when people are coming, like acting like a normal person and giving them plenty of room, telegraphing where it's gonna go, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been working with this?
This one, so just this particular chair, like we got this one on loan. So like we only had this exact chair and system up for a couple, maybe a month. Yeah, it is. Wheelchairs in general, hard to say. Definitely longer than a year, 2 years maybe. And then the technology that basically the underlying like AI system, the whole being able to tell it where to go, like 4, 5, 6 years. I'd have to check, but a really long time for that. Yeah. Oh, it is a dead end here.
Oh no.
Them's the brakes.